We cross the aisle to the Secretary of State, Republican Scott Schwab, who is seeking the Republican nomination for governor. Let's start with your BALD plan,
Yes,
the property tax plan. Take a look at this graphic here, outlines some of the highlights of it. As property taxes clearly are a major issue, you do support voter-approved increases, automatic over a certain percent. I think it was 3% in the proposal at the legislature. You want to cut the state school property taxes repaid by the general fund, mill levy buy down, and a sale money back after an appraisal if you sell below that. So let me start with this. The state appears to be backfilling some of those costs from the general fund, and we're going to talk about the budget here in a moment. But how do you fund that? Pay for that?
Well, you're going to have to grow the economy, and also one of the things I said day one as governor, you'd either modernize, reduce, or both. Every agency you either reduce, and if you're going to spend more money, it's because you are going to spend that money to modernize so we have more margin. We're in technology debt. If we use more technology as opposed to just pushing paper with people, we will be able to afford more property tax relief on the local level.
How much money can you save by upgrading technology?
Well, so that's the conversation you have after the way it works in the State House is you introduce the concept, they write it up, and then you have the fiscal analysts say, okay, here's what it's going to cost or not. But we're starting the conversation. We actually have a plan. I'm the only governor candidate that actually has a property tax relief plan.
Let's talk about the budget. I mentioned that, and I talked about this with Ethan Corson. Over $1 billion out of whack over the next 2 fiscal years, meaning more spending than revenue is forecast to come in. And you've talked about using technology, but let's assume that won't close that $1 billion gap. Where else do you cut?
Well, okay, so you're going to continue to have to do haircuts in government. And the other thing is we have to stop basing our K-12 funding on court decisions. The Supreme Court is telling the legislature how to spend money. The legislature listens to 280 plus school districts. The court listened to 4, and those 4 people those 4 school districts got the school formula they wanted. The other 280 or so got what they got, and it's fat, it's very inefficient, and also we need to have a serious conversations about some of the smaller school districts. You don't have to close schools, but we could eliminate some of these superintendent positions and merge school districts together. We have school districts with 25 and 50 people.
The task force is studying a new formula, right?
Yes, because it's going to expire.
What would you recommend come out of that?
The very first thing is you got to stop the court from telling the legislature what it has to spend.
But you know there's going to be a lawsuit when school districts don't think they're getting their money.
I understand. You have to stop that. And you can do that by saying the school districts are not a party to the case, just like the legislature is not a party to the case.